I was scrolling through some of the most highly anticipated books for the rest of 2023, and I came across this one that I immediately had to pre-order, and this is why. It's the second book in a series, and I had just read the first book recently and really enjoyed it. I knew that a second one was coming out, but I didn't realize it was coming out so soon. And then on November 7th, the release day, I waited all day just for this book to come. And then finally, the package had arrived, and I grabbed it and I opened it up as quickly as I possibly could. It's The Iron Flame, and I immediately started reading it. So I have this whole weekend dedicated to reading, and I'm gonna try to make myself finish it before the end of the day on Sunday. I've noticed for me that the hardest part about finishing a book in a short period of time is having to just sit in one place for the entire day and not move and not do anything. So I've come up with 5 different reading locations that I'm gonna make myself read in throughout this weekend. Number 1 is my couch. Number 2 is my car. Number 3 is I'm going to listen to the audiobook and try and move around and do things. Number 4 is my bed. Number 5 is probably the weirdest, strangest location I could possibly come up with, but I've actually tried reading in this place before and it helps me focus on the book so much, but it's just really weird, so I don't do it that often, but I'm gonna do it at the end of this. I'm at page 139 and I'm really liking it so far. I went on my phone for a little bit and I accidentally, like really accidentally, like there was a slight spoiler. Nothing major, like I didn't find out anything huge, but there was one thing. I mean, at this point, it's been several days since the book has come out and most people have read it at this point. So a new rule I'm setting for myself for the rest of this weekend is that I cannot go on my phone, which is good for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's gonna help me focus on reading a little bit better and not get distracted. And then also, I can't spoil anything. So this is going to be put away. I'm gonna keep reading on my couch for the rest of the day until tonight and hope for the best. Okay, so I have a bit of an issue. I severely underestimated the temperature that it is outside. So I don't want to sit here with my car on because that's gonna waste gas, but it's pretty cold outside. It's the middle of November. I didn't think about that until just now, but I'm still gonna try and read out here for a little bit. I just might not do it as much as I thought I was going to. I'm also really enjoying like the subplots of this book. There's quite a few of them. They're very different, I feel like, from the last book. Like the last book, there was a set list of like all the things that she needed to do to pass the first year of the school. And it's not really like that with this second year. I feel like it feels more random, but I'm like really enjoying that. When anyone walks by, I get scared and I put this book down and pretend like I'm doing something like that makes sense rather than just sitting in my car in this freezing weather reading a book. I also have not been picking up my phone at all, which is good. I think just like quiet, enclosed places are the best places to read, which is why the 5th location I have picked out that I'm gonna do later tomorrow is like the best one, even though it's really bizarre. So I was worried that this one wouldn't be as exciting, but so far it really has been. Honestly, I would even say that this one has been even more thrilling than the first 100 or so pages of the last book, so I am really enjoying it thus far. It's still cold, but I'm getting used to it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so I've been reading on the couch for, I'd say, several hours today. I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting close to halfway, and it just keeps getting better and better the more that I read, to be honest. I've said it a bunch of times, but I just love when books are action-packed and doesn't give you a moment to get bored of the story. I think it's hard to find fantasy that isn't just chocked full of way too much context about the world or moments of the book that feel like you're reading a textbook. That's kind of a big reason why I don't read that much fantasy. I like how this one does give you context and you do learn more about the world, but I'm just not bored of it. And I don't know exactly how she's doing that, but she's doing it somehow and it's going really well. Now, I'm going to go to my next location, which is my bed. I'm getting a little bit past halfway now. There are so many different subplots going on within the overall like bigger plot. It's kind of the same with characters. Like there's a bunch of different characters in this book. I'm still really nervous about the ending and the possibility of somebody dying or something tragic happening. Something I am the most terrified of when it comes to this book is the fact that I know, at least based on how the last book ended, I'm assuming that somebody important is probably going to die, but I'm really scared because there's a lot of important side characters that I really love reading about. I'm really scared that somebody might die, or even just something really bad might happen.
Page 323.
I just hit page 300. It's getting really intense and really crazy. I am getting close to being done reading for the day. And then tomorrow I'll read as much as I can throughout the rest of the day and do my 2 other little reading locations. So tomorrow I have a decent amount of reading left to do. So I'm gonna be sitting in this place for a long time and I'm not really looking forward to it, but at the same time I know this is going to be the best place for me to be able to read a ton in a short period of time. The only thing that I unnecessarily spend money on is always buying the physical book of a book that I'm reading and the audiobook.
Only because your list has replaced all the heat. That might just kill me. Backs to the wall so no one can sneak up.
It's nice to be able to get stuff done while you're listening to the book. It feels like the biggest waste of my money, but it's necessary. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So I finally finished doing all the cleaning stuff I had to do while listening to the audiobook, and then it was finally time for me to read in my final location. In case you haven't already realized, yes, this is a closet. And you might be wondering, why on earth would you want to go read in this tiny little closet for no reason? I did this once a while ago when I was trying to read War and Peace, and it actually helped me a lot. I think just being enclosed in a small, quiet place, I guess, just helps you to focus better and therefore helps you to read more quickly. I have no idea. Maybe that's just in my head and I'm doing this for absolutely no reason. That's probably most likely the case. So I'm gonna sit in this closet and try to finish this book. Something really crazy happened earlier. There was a bit of a reveal that happened, a very big reveal that I did not see coming at all, like not at all. Reading in the closet was an interesting time because I got to a lot of very pivotal points in this book while reading there, which I didn't expect. Just so many things were happening back to back to back, and some of them really changed how I was feeling about the book thus far. Realistically, I'm probably not going to be able to read 200 pages while sitting here in this closet, so probably going to finish this book in my bed tonight, and then I'll go over my full opinion on this book. I feel like I haven't said too much about this book yet, other than I do enjoy it, but I really want to dive into my deep opinions about this because some things have been a little bit unexpected. So tomorrow, after I finish it, I'm going to go over my final thoughts and fully tell you everything I feel about this book. It's the next day and I have officially finished The Iron Flame. I was having some very conflicting feelings about it last night when I was reading it. I don't think I explained this very well last night, but basically to me it was starting to feel like the book was dragging out a lot. I will say in the last 100 pages or so that I read this morning, so much happened. There's something at the very ending that happens that makes me like want to read the next book so badly. There were a couple of things with certain characters or some of the conflicts that the main 2 characters were having throughout the book that kind of annoyed me a little bit here and there, but overall I would say it's a really enjoyable book. And yeah, so I would definitely say if you like The Fourth Wing, read The Iron Flame. And I was able to read a whole 600-page book in basically just a weekend, I guess technically 3 days. And I feel like that's saying something because I don't read books that quickly unless I enjoy them. It also probably had to do with the reading locations, of course.